friends, and welcome to Yoga with Marcy. Today's class is the fourth in a series of 4, and the theme has been expand. We're working in something called organic extension. Hello, Ekis. And in today's class, we are extending towards the sacred, from the sacred, remembering that in Tantric non-dualism, even the messiness of life, even though it doesn't always feel like it, is part of the sacred. So we experience that and experiment with that in our practice today, and I'm glad you're here, and I hope you enjoy. You know, we're all bringing our messiness into the room because life is messy and we're messy in it. We're spirits having a human experience, some people like to say. Let yourself arrive, messy or not. Arrive on the breath. However you're doing in this moment, being just where you're at. The lovely gift of yoga to often offer a change in how we experience ourselves. In Anusara, we often talk about the 3 A's: attitude, alignment, and action. And we practice that actually in our yogic flow and throughout the unfolding of a class. And so, me too, I've been experiencing a lot of messiness. The life does that sometimes, doesn't it? And in my state of messiness, the universal attitude that helped me was remembering it's all sacred. It's a non-dualistic perspective that even the mess is part of the sacred. And I took it a step further, and I was just like, how miraculous is it that I get to have this messy experience, even if it's a pain in my neck? So just trying that on. And we begin with that attitude. And then in our practice, the action that we take is to move towards that, to make it bigger, to connect with that. And then the action is the organic extension, right? It's our expansion. So we take that attitude into how we touch what we touch, how we move in the world and through a day and through a moment, with ourselves, with other, in relationship. Relationship even with our work, relationship with what's being asked of us. We'll bring our hands together in front of the heart to open our practice with the sound of one Om. Finding the breath, riding the breath all the way out, riding the breath all the way in. And feel free to let go of hands. We're going to do a few things seated, starting with a pranayama. So we're going to work with our breath. So the invitation is simply to notice the breath, bringing awareness to the flow of your breath without trying to do anything about it. You start there, just being curious. You know, does your breath feel kind of jagged, shallow? And as you bring that awareness there, you may notice it smoothing out. And when you notice it smoothing out, that's a good place from which to start to practice pranayama. And today's offering is going to be another count breath. We did one last week. We're going to do another one this week. Last week it was a box breath of 4, inhalation of 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. This time I want to invite inhalation of 4, and at the top of the breath holding for 2, and then making the exhalation longer. We'll try 8, and then a hold at the bottom of the breath for 2, and then an inhalation of 4, and that will be our rhythm. And if that rhythm feels like a strain or difficult, then you can find a different rhythm. And you can also, of course, not do this at all. So just bringing awareness back to breath until the breath has smoothed a bit out. I like to tap my index and my middle finger on my knee to start to give me a rhythm, almost like a heartbeat on my knee, to guide the breath. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and we'll start our inhalation to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and continue on your own. And at the base of your next exhalation, release the breath. Release it fully. Wonderful. Just letting natural breath occur again, as if you could stop it. All right. Feel free to open your eyes if they're closed. Take your time. And I just want to invite everybody to let the body move very gently as if it were in water. Begin with that. And let that come up through through, make it all the way up to the crown of the head. And if it feels good to do this with your eyes closed, go for it. And this is really just you finding how the body might want to receive the invitation to just move in a very organic and unscripted way. Unlike most of how we move through our day and our lives, a total moment of freedom and unscripted living. Improv, which is really what it all is, fundamentally. And you can feel free to start to take this into the pain in your neck, because we've all got a little pain in the neck, figurative or real. Oh my gosh. And if there's a little sound that your neck wants to make as you explore here, yeah, we're all dealing with a lot right now. And there's no way that a lotness isn't going to show up in our bodies. It just does. Because it's all one. We are all one. So letting yourself move with breath, letting breath be easy and steady. Good. And then when you're ready, find your way to center. Maybe give yourself a little center line jiggle, just to see if you can find center. And remembering that it's kind of miraculous that we're here at all. Just see how that lands as an attitude. And we can take our arms out to the side. Ooh, hello, spiky plant. Maybe making fists, soft fists, doing a little circling at the wrists, noting if you have any tightness in the forearms like I do. Oh, and then the other way. And let's just roll that right up towards the sky. Take your time. Find length in the spine, feel your sits bones grounding, and notice if there's a place where you kind of want to pause and do a little bit more of that free movement. If you notice something get a little clenchy as you make your way up. A little clenchy or a little graspy. And then come to the top and maybe giving yourself some kitty paws, like you're touching the soft inner belly of the great mother cat. She's got what you need. It's all right here. You've got what you need. It's all right here. Good. And then gently shaking that all the way down. Ooh. Yeah, shake it all the way out through fingers. Let's find the breath again and see if you can make contact with your sits bones. Feel length in the spine that comes all the way up and up through crown. Gently drawing the tops of the ears towards the back of the skull. And feeling that softness at the back of the neck if you can, or whatever is there. Yeah. Let's take left fingers towards the earth, staying grounded in both sits bones, and let right hand begin to find its way up and overhead. Keep rooting, especially through right sits bone. Play here. Play here with where you're reaching, how you're reaching. Where you reach from the sacred towards the sacred. And everywhere in between is sacred. I am that. The I is sacred. The am is sacred. And the that is sacred. It's all sacred. So inhale it back up. Give yourself a moment to let that go. Maybe just a gentle no with the head. And feeling some fullness in the back of the body as you do that. Moving with breath. Good. And then taking right fingertips. Feeling both sits bones, but as you move, particularly rooting through left sits bone, reaching up through fingertips. Playing here with where you reach and how you reach. The support of the breath and remembering. And inhale it up. Let that go. Good. Let's do some just gentle rolling of shoulders. You find the right circumference of your shoulder circles. And then the other way. Good, and then everybody bend the elbows and take the palms facing up. So very often our neck pain originates in this forward holding of the neck and then, or the head, right? And then the neck and the shoulder muscles and the back muscles have to work really hard. So let's find the breath and find some length in the sides of the body so that the shoulders kind of float up. And then just sort of gently drawing elbows back. Feeling a gentle spread, invitation to spread at the front of the heart. And feeling the shoulder blades moving a little bit towards one another, like a hug on the back body. And this is an invitation for the head to actually be more free, so you can bring that no in again. As part of your expansion. And you might even imagine what it is that you need to say no to. That's not fully supporting your feeling of freedom, your remembrance of this gift. Good, and then we'll let that down. Let's reach around with the hands, interlace the fingers and pause. Find the breath again. Find that length in sides of the body, so that's our attitude adjustment. And then as you draw elbows towards one another, that's an alignment. We're aligning with our attitude adjustment, the remembrance of this gift, the sacredness of all. Good, and then we reach, perhaps through fingers, even just right where they are. Or maybe they move away from the body or down. And we reach through the sits bones, we reach through the crown. That's the action that we take into the world from these yogically aligned and hooked up places. Stay for as long as it feels good. Let go when you need to. And then if we all let go, we can walk fingers forward, one at a time. Moving around the cat body.
Return this week.
Yeah, for now. We'll see what happens. Oh, any amount of forward fold that feels supportive and good. Drawing sits bones down. Feeling a little bit of the offering in the lower back of the body. And here, if you'd like, you can even bring in a little cat-cow action, a little rounding of the back, and then inhaling and drawing the sacrum forward, a little drawing the heart forward. A little movement in the spine here. and walking it back up. And from here we're going to move to our tabletop position. That's hands and knees. Sometimes it's nice to put a blanket under the knees, and if you don't love being on hands and knees, we're going to do some cat and cow. We're going to do a little leg behind side stretch and get on our bellies. You can also do this standing, or you can stay right in your seat to work with the spine. But if you don't mind coming to hands and knees, then that's what we'll do together. Okay, Akis, I'm going to make a table right over your body. No, I didn't think you would like that. All right. It's like, not so much. I'm a cat. All right. Fingers wide. Hands a little wider than shoulder width. Great. Everybody's got a little blanket under their knees. I'm going to join you. That looks nice. He's checking you out, Pat. And just start to move however you'd like. Yeah. And thank you to Talit. Talit was already doing that, so that was a good cueing. Thank you, Talit. Yeah. And I'm going to come and rescue Pat from kitty energy. Eckies, it's so lovely. But she doesn't really want you there. Go bother Jeff. Yeah, go bother Jeff. Yeah, go bug Jeff. Maybe bringing this into some cat and cow. Feeling the connection with the earth through the hands, drawing it up into the heart, and then pressing it away. Drawing it in, pressing it out. Drawing it in and pressing it out. Letting go of the head. Good. Finding center. Find your breath. Feel the hands. Feel the center line of the body. And then take left toes behind you and over towards the right. Keeping the gentle draw of midline. The press through the hands. Turn to start. Be curious about that back foot. And feel some opening in the left side body. Opening, lengthening. Just enough press through the hands without overdoing. And how much effort is necessary right here, right now, for you to get the full benefit of the shape, the offering. And inhale your way out. Find center. Find your breath. Feel the hands. Find center line. Take right toes back towards the left. Hello, blocks. Good. And from that center line, begin to turn and be curious about the toes. Look back. Feel the opening along the right side of the body. And you might notice one side is a little more tight than the other. For me, my right side tends to be a lot more tight than my left. Breathe. And inhale your way back. All right. Grab your blocks, if you don't mind. We're going to get on our bellies. And if you have a blanket under your knees, you may want to remove that, because lying on your bellies on a blanket isn't always so comfy. And then we'll come to lying on our bellies. And then the blocks, we're going to stick our hands on the blocks and bring them right next to the rib cage. And find your breath. Good. Hands at the side of the rib cage. And just sort of tune into what are your elbows doing? What are they doing? Are they dancing? What are your elbows doing? And then just sort of let the shoulders float towards the ears. Let the elbows be going straight back to the sides of the body. On the next inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky and reach through the toes. And exhale it down. And now notice how the left leg is about 3 inches longer than the right. Let's try the right leg. We'll inhale, right leg to sky.
exhale that down, and hopefully the two legs are now on the same continent. Okay, so bringing awareness again into the fact that our hands are on blocks. And once again, inhale, float shoulders up towards ears, maybe a little bit more on the back. Press gently into the blocks to lift the head. And then exhale that down. We're going to do 2 more of those. So inhale, float the shoulders, draw elbows towards one another. Inhale, head up, pressing into blocks. Exhale it down. And one last time. Floating shoulders towards ears, inhaling, lifting head. And exhaling it down. Move the blocks. From here, we're going to gracefully come back up to hands and knees and get onto our backs. So take your time. Ilana let me know this morning via email that she had tweaked her back. So she's not here today because she has a little bit of an injury. And I said, well, we're going to lubricate our spines in your honor. So maybe you can send the lubrication between your vertebrae over to Ilana. All right. Lying on your back, arms wide and open. And take a moment just to notice the breath. Feel the back body melting into the support beneath it that's holding it. And bring your breath right to your fingertips. And from fingertips, gently draw up the lines of the arms into those shoulder blades. Feel the shoulder blades receive and draw towards one another on the back. And then keep that alignment as you then reach back out through your fingers. Good. Keeping all of that, inhale, hands towards sky. Your little jazz hands. You can put a little wiggle in fingers just to feel the extremities. Put a little wiggle in toes just to remember you have extremities. Good. And then from fingertips, we're going to do that same thing. And this time it's going to feel like I'm melting. So down the lines of the arms, melting like chocolate in the sun. Shoulder blades onto the back. Does anybody love chocolate? Does anybody not love chocolate? I mean, it happens. It's rare, but it does, right? All right, keeping that, let's take hands up and over. What's really tragic is people who love chocolate and can't eat it for some reason. That feels tragic to me. Reaching through fingers, reaching through heels, through the balls of the feet. A gentle reach, but keeping that melting sensation in the shoulder blades. And a softening at the back of the neck. And letting the back of the head notice and feel a gentle press and relationship with the earth. Steady breath. Good. And inhale, lift the hands, bring the feet to the mat, draw knees towards the heart, and take the hands either to the knees or around the shins, rock on the sacrum. Feel free to make a sound on any breath here. Yeah. Good. Taking left foot to floor. Right foot towards sky, reaching around with a hand to the back of the right thigh, pausing. And then bringing a little movement in the foot, a little pointing, a little flexing, maybe a little movement in the knee, moving knee towards straight and bending, playing, and maybe the left leg wants to extend. And if it does, let it. Can experiment with it. Maybe you tried it and you're like, no, not so much. Bring it back. If it is extended, gently press it towards the earth. Maybe now you're circling at the ankle. One way and then the other. And now we're going to bend that knee. And take the right hand on the right knee and the left hand to the left heel, if you can reach it. Activate the toes of both feet. And gently begin to draw that heel towards the heart. The knee moves out towards the side. And if the left leg is extended, gently pressing that into your mat. And breathing. And noticing what's going on in the neck and seeing if there's something in the back of the neck or the sides of the neck that can soften. Good. We'll inhale out, bring that foot down to the floor. And take the left knee all the way up, give it a hug, and then decide if you want to keep your right foot here or if you want to extend your right leg out. If you do extend your right leg out on the floor, just gently press it towards the mat. And staying in the breath, we'll draw that knee towards the heart, any amount. Softening something in the jaw and the skin of the forehead. And letting the outer skin also get the cue. It doesn't have to work quite so hard. Activating the toes of both feet, begin to take that left knee into the left hand and the right heel into the left heel into the right hand. Draw it towards heart. Keep pressing if the right leg is extended into the mat. Taking this action as a remembrance that the mess is sacred, the I is sacred, the relationship is sacred, and what you touch and how you touch it is sacred. You're moving towards sacred from sacred. Yeah. Inhale to bring that down. Take both feet to the floor, hip width apart, arms at the side. And like we did when we were in our forward fold, we'll bring a little action to the lower back, a little curve in the lower back, and then a press, and an inhale curve, and an exhale press. Take a couple more of those, and then if it feels good on the next press into feet, lift hips for a gentle bridge pose, and you can pulse it. You can inhale it up, exhale it down, or just stay with the curving of the lower back, the pelvic tilting. You decide how you want to work this right now. And then we'll all meet back in the middle, back in the center. Let it all go. Take feet width of mat. Activate toes just enough to feel energy moving up through the legs into the pelvis. And then opening arms wide, take those knees towards the left. Take a full breath here. Find the reach through the knee. Reach away from the right armpit, through the knee. Easy breath. Maybe there's a sound here as well, or even just a heavy exhale. Yeah, good. Inhale back to center. We'll take the other side. Let there be a reach through the knee. And where are we reaching from? And what are we reaching towards? And what if we allowed ourselves to remember that it's all sacred? Even the damn mess. Even that relationship that's still hard. Inhale that left knee up. Invite you to lift the sacrum off the ground and replace it again, just in case that curve got a little more than what you wanted for resting. And on the inhalation, we'll take right foot to sky and then bend the right knee and take the ankle in front of the left knee. For figure 4, activating toes. And you can work right here if this is already what feels right, or you can take it a little deeper by lifting the left foot up and off the ground, reaching through with hands to the back side of the left thigh, and then boom, there you are. Perhaps you're in a whole pool of sensation in the hip, and maybe you need to back it off a little. Breathing into sensation. And on your next exhale, we'll take that left foot down, bring the arms to the side, press into the left foot to take weight out of the hips as though the hips were going to lift, and maybe your hips do lift, or maybe you just imagine that they do. And exhale it down. Open arms to the side with active toes. Take that right foot towards the left for a twist. Woo! Yeah, any amount of twist, or none at all, or somewhere in between, or even imagining twisting. Feeling again that gentle press of the back of the head into your mat. Oh, maybe there's a sound here, a heavy breath, exhalation. It's my right side, it has lots to say. And then inhale 2, come out. Bring that foot to the earth, arms at your side. Lift and lower the pelvis just to readjust. And we'll take the left side. Inhaling left foot to sky. Exhale that ankle in front of the knee. Activate toes. Perhaps this is where you're going to work. If you want to take it deeper, taking the right foot off of the floor, or even just imagining it, and drawing that knee towards heart, reaching with hands. Noticing sensation and breathing into where you have sensation, which is a great thing to do with a pain in the neck. It's just breathing, bringing a breath there, creating some space in the sensation of it. And when you're ready, we'll inhale to release that down. That's the foot, arms at the side. Press into the right foot and take weight out of the pelvis as though it's lifting to the sky. And then maybe it actually does lift to the sky. And there's a gentle press in the backs of the arms, upper arms. And exhale that down. Activate both feet again. Open arms wide. Take left foot towards the right. Good. Maybe there's a sound here. Mine did, but it was a very different kind of sound than from the right side, which is not unusual. Our hemispheres have different things to say. They have different experiences often of being in us as us. And then inhale your way out. Exhale the left foot down. And we're going to all find our way to standing, either by rolling on the spine or rolling to a side and making your way up. And take your time. Take the time you need. Bring your blocks, bring your strap. Okay. Do you need blocks? Do you need a strap? I got you. Boop. Surprise, my hand was on your head. Oh, Jeff, I love it when you do that. It didn't give the snap sound, though. Do you want to try? Well, it's almost worth trying it again. It's such a cool thing. All right, bring your blocks to the front of the mat, and you can put the strap down for now. We'll come back to it, but just have it at the ready. All right.
Okay, let's just do a little bounce. Bring a little energy into the legs. Woo! Feel free to make a sound. Yeah, I love it. Bounce the door. All good things. Yeah. Yeah, so a little bending in the knees. You're feeling the feet. Letting something go. Out through the breath, out through the fingers. I don't know, has anybody been holding anything? Just a little. Okay, great. And then we'll find center. Look down at your feet, see if they're parallel. Find the breath, feel the feet, and then lift and spread toes and inhale, hands high. Press through feet as you reach through the fingers. Where are we reaching from? And what are we reaching towards? And can it all be sacred? Exhale, hands to heart. And let's do it again. Press and reach. Exhale, hands to heart. And one more time, press and reach. This time we're going to come into a forward fold, so bending knees, coming down through midline. Hands to blocks, if you'd like, or floor, or knees, depending upon your body. And if your head is lower than your hips, let it go. Just shake it out. Nice. Find the feet again. Draw the ankles and the shins towards one another as you inhale your heart forward. And nice and well, with hands on blocks at any height. Maybe they're high. Yeah, good. We're going to bring the palms to the blocks and press into the blocks and feel the back body lift towards the sky like your body was being filled with helium. And you feel the weight coming out of the legs and the feet as you press into the blocks, and the helium balloon is filling, filling, filling. And then exhale, soften knees, draw heart space forward, take the weight out of the hands. And then exhale, here we go again, moving knees towards straight, pressing into block, feeling the helium balloon full, 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 fill, fill, fill. And then exhale, bending knees, drawing heart space forward. Good. Now deeper bend in the knees and reaching forward for an Utkatasana. We'll take hands in, arms into cactus shape. And let the burn come as much as you can sustain. And when it feels like I'm done, then just come on up. And this is not a challenge. It's not a performance. You're not going to be judged. Inhale, come on up when you're ready. And then we'll reach. And exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, let's all take our straps. This is one of my favorite things to do, and I get it if it's not yours. We do this sometimes. We create a little loop with the strap. So strap mechanics. Strap goes through the 2 rings, back through 1. If you've ever strapped a canoe on a car, you've probably had to do this. All right, and we're going to make a loop that we're going to put above the elbows that allows the arms, if you press into it, to be the width of the shoulders. Does that look about right? I'm going to get mine just a little bit tighter. So this is a moment of proprioception where we learn about, well, how wide are my shoulders? Do I even know? It's not always clear, is it? Yeah. That looks a little tight. Does that feel a little tight? Yeah, it looks a little tight. Let's see. Good job, Jeff. You got it. It's not your first rodeo. Done this a couple times. Great. Nice. And let's just take hands to prayer position for a moment, and we're going to give Pat a chance to get that. Yeah, that looks pretty good, Pat. Maybe just a tiny bit tighter. I'm going to help you.
You got that? Let's see.
Loose, so I didn't get my mechanics right.
No, you got the mechanics perfectly. We'll just take it so that the metal's not right on your body. There it is. Awesome. Okay, now we're all just going to walk around the room like, who is this? Is this Frankenstein? Oh. All right, let's take arms out front. Find your breath. Feel your feet. Don't do anything right now yet with the strap. Like don't push into it or anything. Just sort of it's there. Feel your feet. Lift and spread toes. So that's our alignment. And now we're going to extend. We're going to take our action from sacred and just gently extend into the strap. Yeah, and if you need to bring it down, you can bring it down. Otherwise, we're going to bring it up. Up to a point where probably the strap is going to start to get right in your face. Okay. Oh, and as you do this and you're gently extending into the strap, see if you can melt down into the feet again. Feel the press through feet. Feel the reach through fingers. Bringing hands together, bending knees. We're going to take this all the way down through the midline and into a forward fold. Bringing hands again onto our blocks. Let go of the head. Let's all make a sound together so it doesn't feel funky. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah. This is the sound of jungle desperation. Okay, or is it just jungle ecstasy? I'm not sure. All right, lift and spread toes. Inhale, bring the heart forward with the soft knees. Exhale, move the knees towards straight, press into the blocks and start to feel that helium balloon. And the gentle press now also out through the arms, through the strap. There's your action. The action that you're taking, the way you're reaching into the world. And the world has given you a strong boundary. And then inhale, soften knees, draw heart forward. And exhale, move knees towards straight, press into the block with the hands. Feel yourself as the helium balloon and feel the strong boundary that you're pressing into. Good, and then inhale. And with the bend in the knees, we're going to take ourselves into Utkatasana. Once again, this time arms forward. Cactus, a little hard to get to access. It's not really available. Good. And then inhale, come on up. Reach to sky. Exhale, hands into prayer position. Good. Let something go in the head and the shoulders and the neck. Then we're going to step ourselves back and into a lunge shape. But look down at your feet and just see what happened. See what your default mode is for feet, and then see if you can straighten them up. And just notice how that feels different. Good. Bringing weight now into right foot. Feel free to look down. Step back with left foot with a tap, 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 or one step. You decide. Wonderful. Front knee is bent above ankle or behind. Back foot is at a 45. Let's put a little softness in both knees and give it a bounce. Maybe give a little ooh. Yeah, and then the other way. Love it. And then we'll take our arms forward. Find your feet in the breath. See if you can find midline with the legs. A gentle draw in towards the midline, and then as you press through the feet, you can begin to lift hands any amount using the strap, and then gently expanding into that boundary of the strap. So maybe something in life is creating a boundary or an obstacle or a mess. And how are we going to reach into it? Good. Exhale, hands to heart. Release that. Look down at your front foot. Take weight there. Step it forward. Give yourself a bounce.
Great. Yeah, or a little turning. I love that. Once again, Talit leads from the driver's seat, leading from the back. I love it. All right, coming back to center, everybody. And we'll take the other side. So finding the breath, remembering, just remembering how amazing it is that we even get to have this human experience. And taking weight into the right foot, taking weight out of the left foot, and maybe tap, tap, tapping it back, or taking one big step into a lunge. Didn't we already do that one?
Yeah.
Thank you. What? Okay, good.
We knew what you meant.
Did you know what I meant? I wonder if I did it wrong last time and nobody picked up on it. Okay, anyway, here we are. Good. Put a little softness in that back knee. And then just a little circling the hips and the other way. Woo! So good to have a body. What? Maybe it doesn't always feel that way to you. All right, finding center, feeling your feet, feeling your breath, and then finding the gentle draw to midline with the legs. We'll take the arms out. Pause. And start to float those shoulders up onto the back body as you press through feet and lift the hands any amount. Strap comes into your third eye. Enjoy it. Gentle press. Good. And feel that gentle reach into the edges of the strap, into the boundary of the strap, pressing again through feet, reaching through fingertips. For some of us, that boundary feels very supportive, can feel very supportive. It's like, I know where I end and you begin. And when you're ready, we'll exhale those hands. Front of the heart, take weight into the front foot, weight out of the back foot. Step it forward and give it a bounce. And here we can keep the loop because we're going to come back to it perhaps. And we'll let go of the strap. We'll see how time goes. All right. Nice. Find your feet, find your breath, and then just look down and see what your feet did naturally, and then see if there's any kind of modification you want to give to straighten them up. And then feel that. And we'll begin with the breath. Begin with remembering the gift of the truth of Tantric philosophy and non-dualism. It's all sacred. Pressing into feet, lifting hands high. Taking left wrist in the right hand, pressing through both feet to come into a side stretch. Look into that armpit. Open the back body. Ooh. And then lift the heart. And reach through feet and fingers. And then inhale it up, switch the sides, press through both feet, reach, reach, reach. Fill the back body, look into the armpit. And then lift the heart. Reaching through feet and fingers. Inhale it up and float the hands down. Okay. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're going to do another lunge. So inhale. Oh no, let's do what Jeff was doing. Jeff, you're teaching now. We're going to reach around with the hands, interlace fingers. Thank you for reminding me. I wanted to do that anyway. Believe it or not, it's on my sheet. So thanks for the reminder, man. All right, like when we were seated, find the breath, feel the feet. And then feel the side bodies get long and the float of the shoulders up. And the offering potentially of the elbows to move towards one another, and maybe hands moving away from the body. And the gift of potentially opening that space in the front of the heart. Yeah. And you don't need to overdo. You can just find the right amount here. Maybe sometimes backing it off to find more access. Good. And keeping the hands there, we're going to bend the knees. And come into a forward fold with hands moving towards sky. Ooh.
Hoo. And then exhale, gently floating hands down onto the blocks. We're going to come into a lunge from here. So bringing weight into your right foot, stepping back with the left foot, and then walking blocks back to be on the outside of the front foot. Pause and breathe. Good. And taking the breath at the start of our pose as an alignment, as an attitude rather. So the breath brings us into the attitude of remembering. Tremendous gift to be even having this a human experience, even if it's messy as all get out. Drawing legs towards midline. Pressing through feet, getting long through crown, softening behind the heart. So we reach from that place to that place. Taking both blocks to the inside of the foot. Back foot comes down to be parallel to the short side of the mat, and then you can reach. Let's try reaching the right hand forward with the block and see what that's like. Check your front knee to make sure it's not forward of the ankle. Draw it back to be above. There it is. That's it. And reach. And then maybe walk that back and then try reaching with the other. And walk it back. Walk both hands back. Turn the back foot to the balls of the foot. Come into the front foot. Step it forward. We're going to stay here with the head letting something go. Let's all make the sound on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Good. Taking weight now into the left foot. Stepping back with the right into a lunge. Hands on blocks. Pause. So we bring in the attitude of remembrance. And then we align by drawing legs in gently towards midline. And then we take the action by pressing through the feet and getting long through the crown. Moving from the sacred toward the sacred. Through the sacred, that's right through the sacred, because it's just never not going to be that. Turning the back foot to be parallel to the short side of the mat, both blocks come to the inside of the foot. And pause again. Refine that isometric draw of the front foot towards the back foot towards the front, and then reach forward, maybe first with the left block. Pressing through feet. Letting yourself feel in that reach what it's like to kind of remember what we're remembering in our practice today. Walk that back, reach with the right. And then inhale it back. When you're ready, we'll turn that back foot to the balls of the feet, hands on blocks, weight into the front foot, step the back foot forward. Deep bend in the knees, roll her up, roll, 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 roll. Oh my goodness, here we are. Might take a minute for the blood to reach the head. Okay, let's everybody turn towards the windows and take a wide stance on the mat. That's for folks who are in the room. Out of here. We're coming towards the end of our practice, but we do need to do a little warrior shape, I think, because this is a yoga class. All right, and we're all warriors. If you're here, you're a warrior. Turn your right foot towards the right and put a bend in the knee. So we're setting up our warrior footprint here, opening arms out to the side. Finding breath. Letting the breath be that moment of attitude adjustment. And then align towards that attitude of sacredness by drawing feet towards one another, drawing from fingertips into the heart, and then press. Here's our action. Press through feet, reach through fingers, and up through the crown, like you had light beams going through the feet, through the fingers, and through the crown, and everywhere else, reaching in all directions. We'll take a couple breaths here. Good, and then we'll inhale, straighten that knee, turn both feet to front. Take a moment right there just to pause. Yeah, if there's some kind of movement you need. And then we're going to turn the left toes towards the left, put a bend in the left knee. Good. Hands on hips to begin. Just finding the shape in the legs. All right. Nice. Finding the breath. And then from the feet, isometric, draw feet towards one another. You feel the legs activate. That's your moment of aligning. Opening hands, drawing from fingers into the heart. Pressing through feet, reaching through fingers, reaching through crown. Find yourself getting longer. And this is the moment of reaching. How are we going to touch the world and everything that we're in relationship with, including ourselves? Stay for a couple of breaths if you can. Come out if you need to. And then inhale, straighten that leg. Turn toes to front. And windshield wiper your feet towards one another. And we're going to come to seated. So grab your stuff, the stuff that you sit on. Let yourself arrive here. We're in our cooling down time. So bringing awareness again to the breath without needing to do anything, just noticing what the breath is doing. It might surprise you. I invite you to stay here and bring yourself into meditation. Stay in this shape, or if you're ready to give your body a little melting, come onto your backs for Shavasana. Is everybody warm enough? Does anybody want a blanket? Pat, would you like a blanket? Okay. I have a little poem to share. Love After Love, Derek Walcott. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat."
You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life.